is Wednesday, this is October the 26th, yes, Wednesday, October 26th. We are right now going to talk a little bit more about Ode on a Grecian Urn, because on Monday we rushed through the end, and I don't want to do that. I want you to have a sense of, I want you to have a good sense of the end and that sort of thing. For Friday, October 28th.
Yes.
Yes, okay. October 28th. You need to have completed reading Billy Budd by Herman Melville. It starts on 994 and goes through 1049. And really, to get what's going on, you really have to get to the end. For the in-class group, there will be a reading quiz on Friday, and I can cover Billy Budd in one class period, okay? So you need to have completed that by then. After that, Monday, there will be, I'm being mean, read the whole thing by Friday, but Monday, I'm giving you the day off. How about that? Monday, the 31st, you have the day off.
That's Halloween.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So you have Monday off. Do you remember what's due very soon?
Paper.
The research paper that is due on
11th. Friday.
November 11th. Thank you. Okay, we had lots of different things being said there. Okay, November 11th, the research paper is due. You have Monday free during this hour. That's a good time to go do research, okay, and to write. And I would recommend on Monday that you work out a thesis statement and an outline, some things like that. Please come up with a thesis statement while you have time on Monday, and maybe bring it on Wednesday and I'll look at them. If you are online, go ahead and start working on a thesis statement. Remember that your paper needs to be about the poem or the short story or a couple of poems. It is not to be a biography of the author, right? We don't want to know that Blake grew up with a father who made socks. So we don't need to know that. We need to know other things about the poetry, okay? So,
But do we need to say a little bit about them as well?
if it's relevant, you do not need your first paragraph to be, once upon a time, Blake lived and at this year to that year, and this is what his life was like. Don't even need to say that. You're talking about the lamb and the tiger, so, well, pretending you are, not everybody says about that, but pretending that you were writing about the lamb and the tiger. You could say something like, the lamb and the tiger are companion poems in William Blake's Songs of Innocence and Experience, and maybe they reflect his idea of dualism or something like that. So, but you don't need to say, if it's relevant, you could use it. You could say something like, if you were doing chimney sweeper poems, you could say that Blake is living during the time of the growth of factories, and he's looking at the rights of human beings and children who are forced to do this kind of horrible work. And so he's concerned with civil rights of children, but you don't want to talk about his child. It doesn't have anything to do with his childhood or the fact that he saw angels outside his window when he was little or whatever. You don't have to deal with that. If it's relevant, yes. If it's not relevant to your thesis, don't go there. Okay. We'll talk about Billy Budd by Herman Melville on Friday. You have Monday off, and then we will read for Wednesday of next week. We will look at, that's going to be the 3rd. No, the 2nd, sorry. November the 2nd, we will talk about Whitman. And I'm going to ask you, I was going to do Out of the Cradle Endlessly Rocking, but it's on your syllabus, but we don't really need to do that. Let's just look at page 982 through, it's not very long, through 987. These are excerpts from Song of Myself, also known as Leaves of Grass. And I'm going to say this into the camera, and then I'm going to say it to everyone. No, it doesn't make sense. No, it does not have a plot. Yes, it sometimes just looks like a grocery list. Just read the words, don't worry about it, and we'll talk about it in class. Now I'm going to tell everyone, no, it doesn't make sense. It does not have a plot. I mean, it's just different. And if you don't understand it, it is probably to your credit. So don't worry about it. You need to know about this poem, and then we'll talk about it, and it's actually very simple. Don't read too much into it. It's very straightforward and simple what I want you to get from it. So we'll read Whitman for next Wednesday, and that is just reading Song of Myself. Don't sit there and try to figure it out and see if you can understand all of it. Just read the words, and you'll go, it's either about everything or nothing, and you've pretty much got that. Yes, okay. So we'll do that, and then next Friday we will read Dickinson on next Friday, the 4th, November the 4th, and that will be, you can read them all, especially if you're going to be writing a paper about Dickinson, but focus on the poems that are numbered 340, I've got this on the syllabus, 341, 449, 465, 712, and 1129. And I'll give you a hint, 1129 is the one that I will really work with. It is about poetry, just like Keats was doing and just like Wordsworth was doing, that sort of thing. And then we'll do Flaubert's Madame Bovary. Okay, so that kind of resets our schedule a little bit so that hopefully you know what's coming. This is October, today is October the 26th, right? Okay, today is October the 26th. We're going to talk about Keats' Urn, Ode on a Grecian Urn. We'll finish that. 26th, and the 28th, which is Friday, we'll talk about Billy Budd. Yes, I'm sorry, I teach 3 different stories at different times. Melville, Billy Budd. Okay. And then Monday, October 31st, write a thesis, statement, or a summary of what you think you're going to write about for your paper, and bring it on Wednesday, October 31st. Then we have November 2nd, which is Wednesday. That is Whitman. Don't worry about understanding it. And then November 4th, Dickinson. And then the next week, we'll start on Flaubert's Madame Bovary. Now, I will warn you, on Flaubert, it's a novel, and I've suggested all along you be reading ahead. With Flaubert, you need to pay attention to details. This is normal writing. It's a story about a woman who has lots of affairs and buys too much stuff. I mean, it can be set today. She goes way into debt and ruins her marriage. So